Second Division Championship trophy, won in 1982 by Luton Town for the first time in their history. This video cassette not only commemorates that achievement, but also celebrates the manner of it, for it was a championship won with a style and flair that took the Second Division by storm.
And they're looking for the one long pass that can cause problems, and here's another one for White, who's onside and scores. White pushed in through, and that's a goal for Luton.
Lindsay Smith to Cartwright. Oh, it's a bad one, straight to Turner. There's a goal. Beaten by Goodyear. Here come Luton again. Antich. To Hill. That's a good cross towards Steen.
Some of the 86 league goals scored by Luton on the way to the Second Division title. A title they won by a clear 8 points, having assured themselves of promotion by a massive 18-point margin. A truly historic season. Before that, Luton had managed only occasional entries into the history books. Here's one man who made them famous, Joe Payne, who set a league scoring record, 10 goals in a single match against Bristol Rovers, Easter 1937. The Luton team of the 50s is also remembered with affection. Names like Sid Owen, Ron Bainham, George Cummins and Gordon Turner took them to the First Division in 1955. Then in 1959, Luton's first chance of a major trophy. This is the FA Cup semi-final with Norwich, and the Luton victory takes them to Wembley for the very first time. But it was an unhappy turning point for Luton. Despite a goal by David Pacey, a 2-1 defeat at the hands of Nottingham Forest started a run which, in 5 years, dropped them right down to Division 4. But the recovery was as dramatic as the slump. By 1970, they were back in Division 2 and had produced another goal scorer in the Joe Payne mould.
MacDonald taking up a place on the far post. Good work by John Ryan. MacDonald.
1974, and Luton became the first team to drop from the first to the fourth and then climb right back up again.
And a good ball to John Ryan. What a good drive. Anderson.
But once again, those celebrations were short-lived, the relegation coming just the next season. But let's look back briefly on those dark days in Division 4. This is the class of 1965, but in this lineup, the seeds of the modern success. For the young right winger is David Pleat, Luton manager in the spectacular promotion season of 1981-82. Well, David, this promotion season provides quite a contrast with those Fourth Division days.
Yes, there were difficult times. There was a general malaise in the club. No one seemed particularly interested in the business of winning football matches. There was a lot of experienced players on their last legs. And generally speaking, to be frank, it was rather run down.
So what did you see as your task and the potential of the club when you took over as manager in 1978?
Well, we had, once again, we had some ageing players, and I saw an opportunity to make 1 or 2 changes and get young, ambitious players with ability into the club. And obviously it would take time, and we sailed fairly close to the wind early days. We just avoided relegation in the first full year. But the dividends have been well rewarded since.
And in the last couple of seasons, you've come close to promotion twice.
Yes, almost so close, really, almost heartbreaking. Last year, I think, in the penultimate game, we went to Swansea and drew in a wonderful game. And then in the last game, we had to win by 3 goals, which we did. But Swansea also won away at Preston. And it was a wonderful experience, but a very sad day. And the previous year also, we were very, very close. Leicester, Birmingham and Sunderland in the end were the winners that got into the First Division, but we felt that we'd done our part, and maybe last season we were then ready to get the tremendous acclaim that we finally got.
Yes, indeed, this season you did make it, and very emphatically so too. Let's look in detail at how promotion was achieved in 1982. This is the local derby match with Watford at Kenilworth Road on September the 26th. Watford in second place, Luton chasing hard a fourth. But it's Luton who dominate a really remarkable first half.
White with the space, gets it back to Lily Fushillo. It's a great drive. Oh, we had a superb view of that, and that was a marvellous save too. Fushillo's left foot, that we haven't seen for a year or two because of his 2 broken legs. Really working well That's a massive drive and an excellent save by Steve Sherwood. Here's Donaghy. Steen with Jacket, and White almost was onto that one before Sims controlled it. Handball. Watford busy everywhere, but having to strain a bit now to hold on to Luton. Rice coming in and clattering that one, but it's picked up by Moss against Bolton. It's past him. Moss still there. No, taken away by Bolton, and then Blissett. Hazelwood, Horton supporting. Horton still with it. Another great save by Steve Sherwood. We seem to see that one a little bit later. They're really pumping them in now. Nobody seemed to come to him, which is surprising for Watford because they're working so hard. So he lets fly. And then Sherwood takes off late. But does the trick. And it's a corner. Ricky Hill on the near post. Up goes Saxby. It's put out again by Sims. Mal Donaghy gets onto the near post this time. Saxby on the far post, and the sun could be a problem for both sides. Horton. Ricky Hill competing here. Gets it out to Moss. Does well. Moss down the line and pulled down. A whistle, a penalty. Linesman Peter North from Braintree gave the signal. The flag across the chest, and the referee from Gloucestershire points to the penalty spot. Well, nice little run by Moss. Down he came, the referee paused, then he pointed to the spot on the linesman's signal, and it's David Moss from the penalty spot. 1-0 to Luton, the first for David Moss this season. Well, normally David Moss, last season anyhow, put them to the right of the goalkeeper without exception. This time, new season, new technique, and it's in. So 1-0 to Luton, 34 minutes gone. David Moss, joint leading scorer last season, his first goal of this new campaign. Blissett comes down. Stevens into Horton. Forward for White, that's a better ball. Sims is with him. Ricky Hill. Horton supporting again. Into Steen. Nicely played first time ball. Steen down to the line, he goes tumbling. Another penalty. This time it's Bolton who's the culprit. Well, Mr. Stevens didn't take long to decide that one. Steen turns and goes for the line. Bolton tries to wriggle inside him, doesn't manage it. Down goes his man, and another penalty. Once more, David Moss. Change of side, but the same result. David Moss again, 2-0 to Luton. That's pure confidence there. And suddenly things are collapsing for Watford. 2 tackles in their penalty area they would describe as fairly gentle. 2 penalties, and the game has suddenly slipped away from them, thanks to David Moss's accuracy. Good jump by Sims. Push back. Ricky Hill, a nice turn away from Jacket. In for Brian Steen, he's there. Beautifully taken. And a great goal. Well, they left a little space for Ricky Hill. He powers forward and then he sets up Steen, and they've left him too much room. A little target, he hits it very, very well. And suddenly Watford are right out of things with 2 minutes to go before half-time. It's 3-0 to Luton, and for Brian Steen, his second of the season. And it's O'Callaghan who's had a very quiet time in the first half. Up against Fushillo. Hazelwood battling. Comes to Moss, quickly using it. Moss looking for somebody on the right, there's nobody there. White. Steen. Well, they're really full of confidence here. Ricky Hill. Trying to bobble it up and go alone. Steen and then their error. And this time it was Sims valiantly to block it. Otherwise that would have been number 4. Watford are in pieces at the back at the moment. So surprising, considering the way they played in the first half an hour. And here comes Stevens. They're all having a go here. Luton trying to make amends for the 2 games here at home where things didn't go well for them. Against Sheffield Wednesday and against Cardiff. They're powering forward in numbers. Stevens set up for this one, and Sherwood happy to see that over. Good interception by Donaghy. Fushillo, good play, getting away from Sims and setting up Moss. Players queuing up here, near post and far post. Steen. Beautifully taken. A perfect cross. And Lily Fushillo getting some help there. Lovely ball to David Moss. And good running by Luton. They've got a man on the far post and a man coming to the near post. That's Steen. And that's number 4.
Well, that was a performance which must have convinced you that the team were really capable of something special.
Yes, there's a lot of tension, a local derby, and much publicity beforehand. But we rode all the problems. We played some very efficient football, fast attacking football in the first half, and scored a wonderful 4th goal just after half-time. To make the scoreline 4-0 at that stage, and it was really a game that psychologically set us up for the season. Brian Horton was brought from Brighton, already successful in promotion battles with that club. His cool, calm and authoritative leadership on and off the field was vital to our success. Here we see Hazelwood picking up a ball against Watford and playing a short ball in. Brian makes rapid progress towards the edge of the box, and as positively as ever, cracks a right-foot shot which is brilliantly saved by the Watford goalkeeper. Here, despite Watford's defence in depth, we keep on the pressure. As the ball comes out, Horton tries a shot, and eventually Ricky Hill plays a nice little ball out to David Moss, our dangerous front player. Here, David Moss shows a lot of moral courage to get at the defenders, get in the box. Despite the conglomeration of defenders in the box there, David's won us another penalty with his ability to attack players and his skill to go past them. David Moss, calm and as clinical as ever, steps up. Doesn't matter to David whether there's 10 or 10,000 in the stadium. He puts those shots away, shows very little emotion, but notice the first man over is the captain, the leader, Brian Horton, and Luton have scored another goal. Here we see another example of Luton's ability to break quickly from defensive positions. Donaghy pushes a ball into there, Hill, who turns quickly, goes at pace past the defender and plays a magnificent left-foot reverse ball to Steen, who hammers a ferocious shot into the corner of the net. A tremendous example of breaking from A to B quickly. Here we see an example of the defender's willingness to support the forwards in attacking positions. Horton here has a throw in which Steen cleverly shields, and from nowhere Stevens comes up with a ferocious drive just over the top of the bar. Kirk Stevens, bought from Nuneaton, who I had previously as a player, has been a splendid example with his determination, clever support running and accurate passing. Another magnificent goal, which is reminiscent of so many we scored last season, was when Fushillo picked the ball up and played an early pass into Moss's path. Moss looks up, plays a wonderful little cross, and Steen, coming across the 6-yard box, heads delightfully home past the outstretched hands of the Watford goalkeeper. Here we see it, a right foot pass. Moss comes onto it, doesn't panic, steadies himself first, looks up, chips superbly well, and there's Steen rising beautifully and thumping the ball into the top of the net. A wonderful goal.
The kind of football we'll be seeing more of later as we relive the climax to the promotion season. A climax which produced quite a few goals to go up on the Kenilworth Road scoreboard. A scoreboard provided with the important help of sponsors Wallspan Bedrooms.
The dream has come true on the pitch at Kenilworth Road, and Wallspan Bedrooms congratulate Luton Town as they enter the big league and look forward to another happy and successful season promoting the club in the First Division. So let's take a break from the action and look at another dream come true. Wallspan Bedrooms, designed for neatness and style, easy to fit at a price that's right. Wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling with maximum use of space for storage. But before we look around the showroom, let's visit the factory where modern Wallspan techniques produce the latest in bedroom design. Every component is quality controlled, ensuring a precision fit and a high standard finish in more than 50 styles and color combinations. The factory is working at peak performance, supplying the increasing demand. And within a few weeks, these fittings will have transformed old bedrooms into exciting modern designs, just right for dreaming those glorious dreams of Luton winning on Cup final day.